up? What up? Welcome back to another episode of the Crown and Stitch podcast. My name is Nick Engvall. I got my guys, Keith, Dexter, with me to talk about some fitteds, talk about some obscure hats, maybe give you a little random hat fact for the episode, talk about some kicks and fits. And then we're going to talk a little bit about maybe some more important things because, you know, there's just a lot of bullshit in the world that people need to realize just doesn't need to happen. But before we get into that, how you guys doing today?
Doing good. Just here with you and my twin Dexter over here.
That's right.
Yeah, so we didn't plan to all have Giants hats on, but you know, considering baseball season is underway, this is probably going to happen pretty frequently. I would guess, but you know, we got a nice little mix going though, so keep them guessing, right?
That's right.
So you want to start with maybe a new pickup?
Yes. You know what? I got two pickups, and the first one is it's not mine, so that's why I have to show it off before I give it to my girlfriend who I hit for. But this is the Nitro 2.0 from Capsule. But
that's clean.
What's that pin?
Yeah, what's the pin?
It's like I don't know if I can get it straight. It's like a roller coaster.
Oh,
I don't know if that's showing up.
Back it up.
But yeah. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fire.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's a hat that I don't know. I never thought this color scheme would have looked good together, you know, with the brown and the red and the blue, but it actually does look really nice, especially in person. So I do have to give that one away, and it does not fit me, but I felt like it was a little bit too good not to show. The one that I got for myself is the White Dome from Hat Club. I love this Astros logo. So I don't know why. This is like one of my favorite logos right here.
Yeah.
And they just started like bringing it back out again. So I've been trying to scoop up a couple of these. So hopefully there's going to be another one in the near future.
All right. That's a good start to new pickups.
I'll just go ahead and go next. Fuck it.
Hey.
Man, I know we said this in the text, but that reminds me of like the old like the good old days for the Sacramento Kings, man.
Right.
I was not a huge fan of those gold jerseys compared to, you know, some of the others like the checkerboard, but you know, man, that's a solid pickup.
And this is the same logo I was just wearing on the last podcast, you know, keeping it going. Continuity.
Yep. Where's that one from?
That was from Lids.
Okay.
I just walked in before I went to the game yesterday, and it was just sitting there. It was a 7.5, so it's a little snug. But I couldn't let it stay there, you know. I had to give it a good home. You know, you can't look at the puppy at the pound and say, "Oh, you're cute, but I don't know," you know. So, come on home, little buddy.
Oh man. All right. Well, I got a fresh in the package still. This is actually direct from New Era again, but Kings.
Oh.
Let me hit this so you can get a little better look there. But
dog,
that's like one of my favorite Kings logos. Sacramento Proud on the side. I'm not a huge fan of the 75th logo on the back. It's a little big, but you know, still.
I just love that. Hat.
Yeah.
What color is the sweatband? Black?
Black sweatband.
That's nice.
Gray under. Purple up top. Yeah.
I've been trying to find a proper Kings hat, but the color's off or the logo's off.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think I mentioned on a previous episode, I kind of went digging, you know, trying to find like I went through like a couple of the malls here in Sacramento trying to find like looking for another River Cats hat, but looking for that logo, that Kings logo specifically, and an old school like, you know, red and royal blue Kings hat. which I've got a few of them, but like I'm just trying to re-up and make sure I have what I need basically. And nobody had anything with that logo on it that wasn't like either kids or like snapback or like just like really bizarre, right? Yeah. Yep.
What's a snapback,
classic, man? Yeah, I just can't. I just can't fit those. That's the thing.
It's just got the logo on the back.
Yeah, that's so good, man. That
only this
logo
was,
is
fitted.
And you would think living in Sacramento too, you'd be able to find something like that, or like that they would have a nice variety at a bunch of stores over there. That's kind of surprising to me that they're not stocked up on King stuff over there.
Yeah, I mean it could just be their end of the season, and people aren't looking for it as much as they were, and maybe they sold through some stuff. But like there's basically like lids. I forget the other lids owned store that's kind of like it's like I want to say it's like Fanatics or something, but it's not.
Yeah,
Fanatics.
Fanatics.
But it's not a Fanatics store. It's something different. Trying to think of it, and then there's like Sports Fever, which is like the old school like jerseys and fitteds store in the mall, like Arden Mall, right? And they usually have like a pretty good selection, but they didn't have anything other than like they had like some of the new logo stuff without the like lion ball logo, but like the new like the last year or two. And then they had like a couple of like red, the red with the new logo, but like I was really looking for like the black and purple. Like that's my favorite combo anyway. But yeah, I mean, I was surprised to find that on New Era of all places, because most of the time the Kings aren't even anywhere online, right? Like they don't sell well outside of Sacramento, I don't think so. I can't imagine too many places would have them, but lucked out. So shout out to New Era, sponsor the pod.
For a hat club to put out a Kings hat for like 5 years,
right? Yeah,
nothing.
We gotta wait till they start winning some games.
Yeah, man, it's been messy in Sacramento for a while. So
6
feel like
years.
they're about to tear down Arco Arena, the second Arco Arena. So I don't know what it's called now, Sleep Train Arena. But yeah. Anyway, what are you guys doing for kicks and fits? Let's talk about some kicks real quick, or I could start it off if you want. I'm ready. All right,
Yeah,
I'm gonna go right back to the Kings. Right.
Oh,
this is like the old SK logo. Reebok fits a little snug. All the Reebok stuff fits a little snug, but it is a fitted NBA logo on the back.
Oh man!
And I had to pull out the Isaiah Thomas PE questions.
Ooh,
damn!
My favorite, or one of my favorite sneakers of all time. Reebok question. Purple joints from when he was with the
white
Kings.
shoestrings.
Came with white shoestrings. Yep.
Oh man!
Yep.
That's nice.
One of my favorite shoes of all time. One of my favorite. Being a Kings fan, you don't get too many special edition sneakers to go after. So had to make sure I got those when I saw them. It was a little help with some friends, but
those
made it
beautiful,
happen.
Beautiful.
Yep. All right, who wants to go next?
I might have to go next. This is just a regular Diamondbacks purple under. I got this from Toppers. Yeah, it was from Toppers. And following Nick up.
Oh. Those look like they were made for that hat.
They were. Yeah,
that's a good combo.
You got the teal and the purple on there, and that really hairy nappy suede. These are the Nice Kicks Bubba Chuck questions. But yeah, they're not comfortable at all, but it goes beautifully with the hat.
Yeah, that's a good one, man. That's a good combo.
All right, starting off Houston 45s Campfire edition. 40 years celebrating Texas.
What's that pin?
It's a little marshmallow guy with the fireballs. He's doing some Liu Kang type shit,
Yep.
And these custom blazers that I had done.
Oh man, nice.
With the back swoosh gum bottom. So I've actually worn these together a few times, you know.
That's a great combo, man. That's a great combo.
Sure. Thank you.
Damn, everybody came with the heat today.
Yeah, that's pretty solid. It is funny, like not talking about that stuff ahead of time and seeing what we all pull out because you know, like Dexter and I pulled out the ones a couple. I was like, I'm gonna wait, and good thing I did because I would have pulled out the same thing, and then you pulled out the questions at the same time. It's like it's pretty wild because I know you don't have too many questions because it's not a comfortable shoe. Like
2 or 3 pairs, maybe.
Yeah, it's right up there with Chuck's in terms of like you gotta have like a fat foot like me. You gotta like still be rocking like way too baggy of Ben Davis or Dickies or something, you know, like because the tongue on the question is way too long anyway. But I'm not gonna go any further on that. You'll have to listen to the Sneaker History podcast for me to complain about shoes I spend, you know, what 30 years of my life chasing down just to complain about them. Like,
you know what? Now that you brought that up too, since both you guys pulled out the shattered backboards that one time, I need to start keep some shattered backboards fund. So if anyone wants to donate, give me about $1,300.
Yeah.
I need them.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's a good one. That would be I mean, it's a great shoe, man. I lucked out and got them for I actually bought them from Foamer and he sold them to me for $250. So like,
damn.
I mean, it's just he had already worn them. They were, you know, they weren't in bad shape, but like he just was like getting rid of his collection at that time, whenever that was 5-6 years ago. And it's like, yo, that's the only pair that I'm gonna ask you about. Just tell me what you want for them. More than likely, I'm gonna buy them from you because if I'm gonna pay over retail for anything, I'd rather give the money to somebody I actually care about. So, and he, you know, man, lucky that he hooked me up because I probably, as much as I would love to spend more, I just don't have that kind of money to be blowing on sneakers when, you know, now I'm just going to spend all that money on hats apparently. So
more bang for your buck.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. All right. So what do we got today? We gotta talk about, you want to do obscure hat now or you want to do it at the end?
Let's do it after this.
All right. We gotta talk about some more important shit than just fitteds, right? Because as much as like fitteds are important to us, they're not important in the big picture. And one of the things that we've been talking about, and it's just been a conversation piece in sports since sports started, but the Giants playing the Cleveland Guardians for the first time as the Guardians happens this week, I think, and it just is a conversation that I think deserves some attention because I feel like as much as I'm trying to word this in a professional way without sounding like a total hater, but as much as America is like one of the best places on the planet, in my opinion, and I'm open to being proven wrong on that. I do think that like there's just so much dumb shit in our history where we do things like call a team the Cleveland Indians. It just don't make sense. You know, the Washington Redskins. Like, why are we still not like addressing the things that are obvious, you know, like obvious missteps in our path as a society, in my opinion. And I know that people stick to the look. I've been wearing Giants hats for 30 something years, 40 something years now. I know about being stuck in my ways better than a lot of people. You know, like I get in my own way most of the time in my life. But like these things are way bigger, way more important. And to me, I just feel like, man, like what are we doing? Like, how are we still having these conversations? You know, I don't know. What do you guys think about the whole changing of the names and, you know, using these kind of like racially charged images and icons and characters? And, you know, I understand that, you know, when somebody draws a character, they might not be thinking about the fact that it's racist, what they're about to do and create, right? It's definitely possible that they didn't have like, you know, ill intent trying to make that logo originally. But at some point you got to have multiple people, dozens of people, if not hundreds of people in an organization that say, this just ain't this ain't the right move, right? And I don't know how we address all of it because there's so much of it spread out all across all of sports, all of society, like, and I just want to, I want to talk about it in a sense to like just bring more awareness to it because I think if we see this stuff, we should be talking about it. We should be saying that's some bullshit. That shouldn't happen. But you know, I I get that it also takes time for the entirety of a world or the entirety of a country to like get on the same page and get past it. And clearly, not everybody's going to be on the same page because some people just don't want to change those things that have come to represent whatever they feel attached to, I guess. How do you guys feel about, like let's say just starting with Cleveland, switching to the Guardians this year, that conversation's been going for a very long time. Um,
One of the things for me too is it's like the name is bad enough, but then like the actual logo, the Chief Wahoo is like I don't understand how it's 2022. You can't be having stuff like that no more. And I actually own that hat, and I've probably worn it twice. And every time I put it on my head, it doesn't feel right. You know what I mean? Like I don't want someone to see me and think that that's something that I represent or think that it's okay. And the argument I hear a lot is it's part of history, it's tradition and whatever. And it could be part of history and it could be part of tradition, but that doesn't mean we can't learn from some of this stuff. You know what I mean? Like I was watching the original Peter Pan movie with my daughter a few weeks ago, and it was on Disney Plus, and there was a disclaimer in the beginning, and it was talking about like, you know, insensitive depictions of things. And, I hadn't seen that movie since I was a kid, and so I was kind of confused. And, you know, I feel like a lot of this stuff is directly geared towards Native Americans. I'm sure that movie came out in, I'm guessing the 50s or something, but it's just like it's crazy to see how some of that stuff used to be and the fact that we haven't gotten farther away from it by this point. Like I said, it's 2022. And even with the Redskins, like Dan Schneider being so steadfast on not changing the name of the Redskins, and it took until what, 2 years ago, maybe. So it just, I understand that people are stuck in their ways and all that. But at some point, you kind of, if you're offending people and this stuff is, racially insensitive, you got to kind of move on. You got to kind of turn the page and make everyone feel that they're a part of and not just, only catering to a certain group of people wanting to hold on to the tradition of things that are, not acceptable in today's day and age.
Yeah, I mean, for sure with the Chief Wahoo, like you said, you have that hat. I've always wanted that hat, but like I said previous, like I was always a Giants hat guy, or I might get an A's. I had a couple Orioles. For the most part, I wasn't branching out too hard. So I always wanted the hat, but it wasn't like I was gonna walk down the street and see that hat hanging up in a store. Like you really had to go find a Chief Wahoo hat. And Hat Club, I think they stopped making that logo a very long time ago. They put out every other Cleveland type of logo. So it's like even if they'd have came out with a Fire Chief Wahoo logo in the last couple of years, I probably would have got it. Would I have worn it? Probably not. But like I always like the logo itself, even though like it's as racist as you can fucking get. But I like cartoonified, funny type shit. And yeah, it's the humor in it is based in racism, but at the same time, it's kind of a dope logo. But I'm not doing it. You know what I'm saying? I can like it from afar. But I still see companies putting out that Chief Wahoo hat. Like I saw one the other day. That's why I brought it up in our group chat. And so they changed the name to the Guardians, which is whack. The logo is whack, but like it's crazy that people are still making memorabilia with that logo. And then there's like independent people who are making, I don't want to say any names or anything, but there's like pins people make. And it's like the grinning Chief Wahoo with like gold grill. It's like that shit's not cool, dude. Fine.
yeah,
Keep it in the history books. There's a lot of shit in the history books that we can remember that we don't have to be a part of. We don't have to, we can stop that here. And that
yeah,
doesn't just stop with them. Like we said, the Washington football team is now the Commanders. They were the Redskins. The Philadelphia Warriors, their logo was a very racist depiction of a Native American. There's a Dennis Rodman's college team. Now people have seen that Dennis Rodman throwback Michelin S says savages on the front. That is not talking about anything other than a racist depiction of a Native American. So as a hat focused podcast, I thought we should bring up, like, you know, the logo itself. And it's a fine line, you know, like the morality of it. It's a classic, it's history, but it's racist, you know. Like, at what point does it just disappear from the shelves, you know?
Yeah, I think that's the interesting part about it, right? So here's your random hat fact for the episode. The people around Cleveland started protesting Chief Wahoo, the logo, in 1973 opening day. And they protested every year on opening day until last year.
Yeah.
That's 49 years of protesting. That's 49 years people had to ignore the fact that this was wrong. And you know, like I'm in the same boat as you, Dexter. I like the cartoonification aspect of it, right? Like I think take away race and create like the cartoon face that's kind of that vibe. I like that style, right? Like I'm into comics and anime and cartoons, and so like to see that on a professional sports team is fun. We talked about the Padres, the swinging, you know, Friar logo, and like it's kind of in the same vein, right? Like, you know, I'm not discounting the racial problems with Chief Wahoo. I'm just kind of connecting the dots with other logos here, and I think that like if you had people protesting every fucking year on opening day and probably beyond opening day, if we're being honest, right? Like it's just been documented that people show out every opening day to say fucking change that logo and change the name of the team. And like the fact that ownership and whoever is involved can justify not changing that. And I'm not saying that like, you know, it's not like one of those things where it's like, somebody's just a little like upset about it. It's like it's fucking blatantly racist, right? Like 1973, like you know, you should have just done it the first year. Like we shouldn't be talking about it 50 years later saying, "Oh, you finally changed from that racist, you know, logo and name to a different team." And like, you know, don't get me wrong, like I agree like the new Guardian stuff is kind of trash. It's definitely not interesting to me in any way. I don't I've spent a little bit of time in Cleveland just because I lived in Detroit and like, you know, was able to like go back and forth, and we, you know, I was working with StockX and got to be a part of some of the Cavaliers type of stuff that we were doing, and there were some partnerships there. So I got to spend a little time in Cleveland, and I understand like the story of Guardian and trying to like connect the dots between like a little bit of the history in the city, but you know, also like probably no matter what they would have changed it to would have not been that great, right? Like because we do have this like 50 years of seeing this logo, and like especially as a baseball fan, man, I just think of like for me it was Joey Bell, you know, like in the early days, like got me hooked to paying attention. The Alomar brothers, like, you know, Omar Vizquel, like there was a lot of players that went through Cleveland that I became a big fan of. So like I've never owned any Indians gear. I've never owned any Cleveland, you know, like Guardians gear or whatever. But it's just I just keep coming back to like 50 years of people protesting this. Like, man, get off your high horse. You need to be listening to these people. And I'm sure that same kind of thing happens in a lot of different places. And I wonder if there's like ways that we could even like help elevate those things. And you know, hopefully as this podcast grows, we can talk about more important shit too, to like, you know, just make people aware about it. Cause I think it's an important subject, and there's going to be much more, you know, many more important subjects that might not be fully on the fitteds conversation, but the connection to that, to the culture that it represents, to the people that some of these images are supposed to represent. You know, we just need to be able to acknowledge them and say, hey, that's wrong, let's move on and do something better with this than to just sweep it under the rug and like, let's go play ball kind of mentality that it seems like people have had so long with this.
You know what else is funny about that? Like Chief Wahoo had is like, I noticed that I become like at a young age so desensitized to seeing that when I saw that hat, I saw the movie Major League. You know, I was like, oh, that's the logo for Major League. You know, and it's like I didn't even think twice about it until you hear people bring it up, and then you start looking at it like, oh shit, that's not okay. You know, that's not cool.
Yeah, that's a good point. And because that's like the other way that it spreads, right? It's like once it's normalized and can be thrown into pop culture, people it's even harder to go back on that kind of stuff. And I was trying to think of the name of that as I was talking, but yeah, Major League was just I mean, it's like one of my favorite movies. Probably if I went back and watched it now, I would think, holy shit, this was probably really fucked up on so many levels because the comedy there is definitely a gray area at this point.
Yeah,
but
it's
as far as
just as
the
racist
logo
as that
and
hat.
stuff,
There's some racism in the movie, like you said. Like, man,
yeah, yep. Yeah, man. I don't know that like I don't know that we need to find solutions for all these things right away, but I do think that like the more we can bring it up, hopefully somebody out there hears this and like understands like why these things happen. Because the shitty thing about the way things move now and how fast social media moves things is there are probably kids that don't even know what the story is behind it or why the change even happened. Why is it the Guardians? Like what's that? Like if you're 10 to 12 years old right now, you might not even know what the hell's going on with it, right? It's like my favorite team just changed their name because nobody explained the racist nature of it. So hopefully we can continue to bring some shed some light onto these types of subjects on occasion. But
real quick, do you think we have some 10 or 12-year-olds listening to us right now? That'd
I
be
don't
great.
I don't think so, but I hope so.
Well, if
I
you're
mean,
10 or 12 years old, also the Kansas City Chiefs, Google it.
yep.
It's deep out there.
Yeah. It's pretty much like you said, especially college, right? Like colleges are low key.
Oh yeah.
They don't get as much attention. It's not even just Dennis Rodman's, those it's Dennis Rodman because we've seen those pictures and the jerseys and stuff, but it's so deep, man. And not to go down that path of like bashing the country and all the things, but I just feel like we collectively are better than what we put out there. And you know we can't become better without acknowledging the faults that people have made. And I say that collectively, like I'm not trying to say that I'm better than anybody else. Like I think that in the way that our system is set up, a lot of this stuff just gets like people just don't even think twice about it. And hopefully we can just say, hey, time out, little Zach Morris action. Think about this stuff. Go look up the Kansas City Chiefs. Go look up the Cleveland Indians. Go look up the Atlanta Braves. Go look up all these teams and like understand what they are. Blackhawks. Yeah.
There's a million of them too. Like I was kind of searching earlier today, and there's been so many, especially like you said, the college teams that have switched their names, and it's just so weird to me too that like I would say 90% of the names that I saw got changed had like negative connotations towards Native Americans. It was like the vast majority of them was some type of racially charged name against Native Americans, and it was not surprising to me, but it made me think about of like why that specific group of people was, having so much, racist stuff being said or names made up after.
Yep.
And earlier, Nick, you just said that you didn't want to bash any of those schools and anything, but can we at least bash Stanford, please? Because people may know them as the Cardinals now or the Tree, but that is very recent. They were the Stanford Indians.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yep.
And so down with all of y'all.
But hey, at least they changed it, right? I mean, I don't know. Like, that's the thing. Like at this point, it's like I just feel like nothing is enough because I'm just tired of seeing it all. But also just like blow it all away and start fresh. I don't fucking care.
Do better. Do better.
Yeah, do better. Yeah. Oh man. All right. Let's get into a little positive note before we hop out of here. Dex, you got some obscure headwear for us to check out?
I got an obscure hat. I think we should try to do something like this every day. Check it out. It's a 5-panel hat we talked about on the last podcast. Pink. It's got the green So Dirty underbill, but it's got the Fozzie Bear.
So awesome.
Let me get a good spin.
Little spinny thing on top. Yeah, that's pretty damn. I think I've worn that like twice.
Killing it with the polka dots.
Yeah, that's a good one.
We were just talking about 5 panels. I was like, hold on, I got an obscure 5-panel back there somewhere.
All right, what do you guys rocking on your head this week?
1, 2, 3, go, Dex. This is the from Hat Club. This was, I think, 2 Valentine's Days ago. This is the Sweetheart. They came out with 2 different colorways, and this is like a maroonish with a, I want to say like an infrared.
Yeah, it's like infrared.
Yeah, it looks kind of orange on that, so maybe I shouldn't have done that. But yeah, it's like a maroon infrared. Believe it was called the Sweethearts collection from Hat Club.
All right.
What was that other colorway? It was like a.
I think it was a pink and red. I think it was like a pink and red. Yeah.
What's the side patch on that one?
That's the pin right here.
Oh yeah,
little Cupid with Cupid with
2007 All-Star.
Oh, you got the pin on yours too. Okay.
Little Cupid with
that's pretty dope.
With the Hat Club hat on.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite pins. That pin is dope.
Yeah, for sure.
I got it tucked away somewhere.
I'm rocking let me see. What is this? This is Toppers. Shout out to Joe for sending this one my way. Kind of just I don't know what you would call it. Army green.
Olive?
Orange, yeah, olive, orange underbill. You could see. What is this? I really can't figure out how to turn my head right now. I don't even know.
50th anniversary.
Yeah, 50th anniversary.
We're gonna call it the Giants hat, undefeated colorway.
Yeah. Now I just need to get the you get those shatter backboards. I'm gonna try to get a fund going for some undefeateds, and by the time I'm 96, I'll be able to get a pair.
You're gonna be looking like a fresh 96-year-old though.
Yeah. I won't even have to worry about him. I'll be in a wheelchair. Yeah.
Right. Not one scuff on them.
All right, guys. Well, hey, another episode in the books. Let everybody know how to find you outside of the podcast.
You could find me on Instagram at Keith the Sneak with 2 Ks, or like I've mentioned in the other episodes, you can find me in the Sneaker History Discord all day, every day.
You can also find me in that same Discord. I'm not as active though, but I'm active right there. Instagram, Twitter, whatever the hell else. Follow me. Also, follow that podcast right there. This is the Industry Special Podcast where I have random guests on and we talk about a lot of cool things. And check me out.
Definitely highly suggest the episode with Clint and
Varian.
Yep. Yeah.
Both episodes.
Both episodes. This is a great
Pop
conversation.
Your popcorn.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. You can find me at Nick Ingval on all the platforms. More importantly, just follow at Crown and Stitch everywhere. Holler at us, talk some fitteds with us. Tell us what you're copping. Tell us what you're rocking. Show us what kicks you're rocking with your fitteds. We love to see it. You could tag any of us in our at social handles on Instagram if you want us to start a conversation with us. That's what we're here to do. Talk about some of these important issues and also just have a good time kind of checking out some fitteds. All right, we'll catch you all on the next episode. Peace.
Peace.